Hey, Tim, how are you? If you're still with us, give us a thumbs up, Tim from Instagram. Light in my shadow. Hey, light in my shadow. If you are still with us on Instagram, give me a thumbs up. Let me know. Boom, shakalaka. It's Wednesday, and you know what that means. And doesn't it feel great to be alive in Toronto or wherever you are in the world tonight? Oh, yeah. And let me talk to you. Hello, I'm Luke Michael Howard, clinical hypnotist and owner of Hypnosis. And this is the Hypnosis Show. Excuse me. Tonight's show and all through January is going to specialize towards using hypnosis and other forms of mind therapy to become a non-smoker, to quit smoking, smoking cessation, whether that be cigarettes, whether that be vaping, whether that be e-cigarettes, whether that be weed, whether that be nicotine patches, whether that be nicotine gum, however you consume your nicotine. If you're looking for a way to quit that doesn't involve years of therapy or swapping one bad habit like smoking cigarettes to vaping, to smoking cigarettes, to using patches, to smoking cigarettes, to using, I don't know, gum. There you go. You or someone else who wants to quit, then this is the place to be. And we're just giving everyone a little time to join us here tonight. Just to let you know, we're on all forms of social media here tonight, to tell your friends. We are currently on LinkedIn, we're on Facebook, we are on YouTube, we are on Instagram, we're on X, we're on Twitch, and I've probably missed one or two out there. So if you've just joined us, yes, I'm going to be sharing some information with you. But how it works best is for us to get the best out of this experience is a interactive experience. So I want to know about you, where you're from, why you're here, why you joined us today. Is it cigarettes you're smoking? Is it e-cigarettes? Is it patches that you use? Is it gum that you're over chewing? Is it weeds that you're looking to overcome? If you're happy smoking, doing weed or gum or patches, then this month probably isn't the right show for you. Next month, we'll be dealing with a different issue. But this month is about aiding people on who smoke some form of substance, be it nicotine or vape or weed, marijuana, and most importantly, they want to get rid of it. If you smoke cigarettes or consume nicotine or weed and you enjoy it and you're happy about it, then keep doing it. This is not the show for you. But if you do any of those and you're unhappy about it and you want to quit, and perhaps you have tried other methods before, such as gum, patches, self-help groups, other forms of weak hypnosis, some form of counseling, or try to cut down how much you smoke, and that hasn't worked for you, then you are in the right place. So in the comments, because I'm talking to a video right now, I don't know who's out there. I've got a little eye on my screen that shows me how many people are watching and what format they're watching from. But I want to know you, where you're from, okay? So this is the opportunity right now to ask any questions you might have, or at any time tonight, put your questions below. And if you're watching this after the fact, then I will revisit the video and I will do my bestest to comment on any of the comments you have. But yeah, so in the comments below, put what's your name and where you're watching from. So you should take a moment in the comments to put what your name is and where you're watching from. I'm going to go into the different forms of social media and I'm going to look who's watching us. Veronic from Instagram. Veronic, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. That's the one I've got on my screen. If you're still with us, Veronic, give me a thumbs up, because I ain't sitting here talking to no one tonight. We need to have an interaction so I know that I'm speaking to real people, so they're going to get real value from it. Let me see on the other forms of social media who is joining us here tonight. Again, folks, to get the most out of this experience, I see there's people watching from YouTube. If you're watching from YouTube, put a comment so I know who you are and why you are watching and how I can help. If you're watching from Twitch and see some people are watching from the Twitch out there, put your name in the comments and where you're watching from. I am currently in Toronto, Canada. All right, so as we give people some time to come here tonight, so what is this going to be today? It's going to be a hypnosis session? No, because I charge too bloody much for that. And also be irresponsible because I don't know who's watching this. So if I'm dropping people into trance and some people are watching this while they're driving or operating heavy machinery and they do themselves some mischief, I don't want that coming back on me. So this is certainly not going to be a hypnosis session, but what it is going to be sharing tips because I've been helping people quit smoking, stop smoking, smoking cessations for 25 years now. In fact, the first 10 years of me doing hypnosis, clinical hypnosis, the only thing I did day in and day out was helping people quit smoking. And I got so good at it, not to break my hand, pat myself on the back, but just to give you some context that I built a business just by helping people quit smoking and just doing that for 10 years in an hour. Does it work for everyone? Absolutely not. Nothing works for everyone. And if anyone says something works for everyone all the time, they are lying to you. Red flag should come up in your brain and the alarm system should go off and you should run as fast as you can in the opposite direction. Hypnosis and the kind of hypnosis I works if we have the following 3 criteria. Whether you want to stop smoking, stop vaping, lose weight, get rid of anxiety, get rid of depression, get rid of some kind of chronic physiological problem, we have to have the following 3 protocols, attitudes in place. If you can say yes to the following 3, hypnosis will be amazingly helpful for you. If you say no to one of the following 3, not only will hypnosis not be effective to you, I very much doubt there is anything on earth or outside of earth that could help you. So the first thing about changing anything, not just smoking, stopping vaping, stopping weed and whatever it is, but for any problem, is first you have to want to quit. Now, I appreciate there may be a part of you that really enjoys doing that particular habit, smoking, as we're talking about this month. I get that. I've never seen a smoker ever in my 25 years of doing this that on some level didn't enjoy it, because if they didn't enjoy it, they'd stop doing it. So when you say, yeah, part of me wants to quit smoking and another part of me enjoys it, every smoker feels the same. How do I know that? Because I've spoken to, I don't know, close to 10,000 over the last 25 years. So every smoker that I've ever met has come into my virtual or physical office, wanted to quit, but there was a part of them that didn't want to because there was a part of them that enjoyed it. But on some level, you have to want to quit. That's the first thing, right? If you don't want to quit, you're not going to do the therapy. You're not going to do the change work. You're not going to invest money in me helping you. You're not even going to buy patches of gum, right? You're not going to do anything. So the first thing is you've got to want to quit, even if you're scared, even if there's a part of you that enjoys it. Number 1, you have to want to quit. Number 2, you have to want to quit. You have to want to change for you. And what I mean by that is oftentimes a well-meaning partner, husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, fiance, child, mother, friend wants their significant other or whoever I just mentioned, they want somebody else to quit, but they're emailing me or they're calling me or they're trying to book a call for their friend, family member, husband, you know what I just said, all those different people, right? But the person who's actually doing the smoking hasn't contacted me. All right. So I appreciate that there's well-meaning people out there, but you have to want to quit for yourself, right? And first and foremost, you have to want to quit for yourself, whether that's because you have ill health, you've got COPD, you've got some kind of lung condition, some kind of respiratory problem, you've got cancer, you're just gassing out all the time because it's taken away all your air. You're spending way too much money of it. You just feel dirty and gross by doing it. You feel like a social leper because it's getting harder and harder and harder for people to smoke in public or residentially now out there. You have to want to quit for yourself, first and foremost. Can other people benefit from you quitting smoking? Absolutely. Your partner, your children, your nephews, your nieces, your parents, your friends, can they benefit from you not smoking? Absolutely. As a secondary bonus, you have to want to quit first and foremost for yourself, right? So condition number one to always be successful in quitting smoking or whatever your issue is you got to want to change. For the smokers, you got to want to stop smoking. Number two, you got to do it for yourself. Other people can benefit, but of prime most importance, you've got to do it for yourself. That's the second most important thing. And the third condition that needs to be met, if you meet this condition, you'll be very, very successful in hypnosis for stopping smoking or vaping or doing weed or whatever your issue is you've got to want to do it now. Not put it off. New Year's resolution, I do appreciate, is January. Not next week, not next month, not next year, not when you've done 10 laps around the earth backwards and moonwalk. No, you've got to want to do it now. Because a lot of people I meet fall into the trap of, I've got to wait till the sun and the moon and the stars and they all align. And then I will know it's the perfect time for me to quit smoking. If you're looking for a sign to stop smoking, this is your sign, and you want to quit smoking. This is the sign, all right? It isn't going to be God coming down with a hammer himself and hitting you on the head. This is the fucking sign you've been looking for, all right? So number one, recap, for you to be successful in hypnosis or any form of change therapy, quitting smoking, vaping, or doing weed, is you got to want to change. Number two, you've got to want to change for yourself. And number three is you've got to want to do it now. Because procrastination, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it next week, next month, next year, New Year, birthday, Hanukkah, Christmas, whatever, the summer holiday, whatever it is, by putting off or procrastination. All procrastination is, folks, is anxiety in disguise. And it's not going to get any better. The best time to stop your problem, i.e. quitting smoking, was the first time you ever puffed your cigarette. Now, if you're watching this, I fully presume that you're way past that point, right? The second time to stop smoking, best time to stop smoking, is right now. Unfortunately, we don't have a DeLorean time machine to go way back into the past to your first puff, although hypnosis can be useful with some regression, responsibly used there. However, the second best time is right now. Right now is the easiest in the rest of your life it will ever be to quit smoking, to stop smoking, to cease smoking. Right now is the easiest. Every second, every minute, every hour, every day, every week, every month, every year, every decade that you leave it, it gets incrementally harder and harder and harder. So today, right now, is the easiest it will ever be for you. Tomorrow will be the next part, but it'll be a little bit harder because it'll be another 12 hours or so. It's been ingrained into your neurology, new neurology being your mind and body system. I'm just going to look at some of your comments. If you have any comments, if you smoke, if you're having some challenges stopping smoking and you genuinely want to quit, please put it in the comments below, because I would like to converse with you. I do these lives not because I like to listen to my voice, although I'm sure you agree, it's a lovely bloody voice. I actually want to converse with you and find out what's going on with you folks out there, because I ain't doing this for my health. I'm doing this because I generally want to help you, right? And the best way for me to do that is to have an interaction. Best way for you to interact is comment below so I can respond. So as you're putting some comments or some questions about hypnosis, about quitting smoking, about stopping smoking, ceasing smoking, and all that business, I'm going to read some of your comments. We have John Jacobs, and John Jacobs from Toronto. Somewhat want to quit E6. All right, John, how are you? Thanks for commenting, John. Yeah, John, like you can't kind of like quitting smoking is a bit like being pregnant. You're either pregnant or you're not pregnant. You can't be a little bit pregnant. It's the same with smoking. You've got to want to quit or not. That's it. If you kind of sit on the fence and you be the gray man, so to speak, then you're in for a wealth of suffering in your life, right? I'm a big believer is if you want to quit smoking, I can help you. If you don't want to quit smoking, you're very happy doing it like my old man, my dad was, then keep smoking. But if you're in the middle where you fight with yourself daily, well, I kind of should quit smoking. It's costing me about $3,500 a year. My wife, my husband's on me all the time about it. I don't like the way that I smell with the cigarettes. I'm having to take a lot of breaks off work. I'm taking some extra sick days off each year. My insurance, my health insurance is going up. You've got to want to quit. You've got to want to quit. You can't kind of halfway be on the fence. Not to give you a hard time, John, because I hear that a lot. But it doesn't mean wanting it. You're not a bit scared. You're not quite sure how this hypnosis malarkey works, or how I can help you, or whatever. Doesn't mean you're not scared. Doesn't mean you're not sure. Doesn't mean you don't have questions. But what it means is you make a decision. The Latin definition of the word decision is you essentially draw a line in the sand, and you don't go back. You step over that line, cut yourself off of any other actuality. You are going to do this. You may not know how you're going to do it, all right, yet. That's where I can come in and help you. But that's what it means. You can't be wishy-washy. When it comes to change work, again, to use the metaphor, you're either all in or you're out. You're not. I only work with people who are all in. All right. And what I mean by that, again, is you can't be a little bit pregnant. You're either pregnant or you're not pregnant. You can't be a bit of a smoker. You either smoke or you don't smoke. And I don't mind which one it is. But if you were happy smoking, you probably wouldn't be watching this live right now. Right? You would just be happy smoking like my dad was. Right? Side note, it did kill him eventually. But he told me he was happy doing it. So, who am I to question that? And there's people that are like, no, look, I've got to bloody quit right now because, they're going to operate on me in a couple of months. And they said they can't operate on me unless I stop smoking. I'm like, oh, my fair share of clients that have actually contacted me. Like, I got to quit because my doctor can't operate me and cut out this tumor, whether it's related to the smoking or not. I don't know, or this operation, but they will not operate on me unless I quit smoking. So, yeah, when it comes to smoking, you've got to, it's like anything in life. If you really want to make that change, you've got to make the decision. You can't be wishy-washy, kind of dip your toes in. You're either going to make the change or you're not. And either's fine, well, for you. I'm not going to judge your decision. However, where suffering comes along is when you're, I call it the halfway man or the halfway woman, where you're kind of on the fence. Maybe I kind of want to quit, but I don't really want to quit. So I'll just stay in this place where I'm kind of suffering each day, but I'm getting a kickback from the cigarette. But then I feel guilty after, and I feel like shit. But then to make myself feel better, I'll smoke a little bit more. And I said I would reduce my cigarettes tomorrow. But yeah. And this is what creates suffering, folks, is the part of me wants to, the other part doesn't or doesn't know how to. And a lot of people have this misbelief out there that stopping smoking is an arduous job, and once a smoker, always a smoker. And even though they're stopping now, they'll start back at some point. In 25 years of helping people quit smoking, like I said, for the first 10 years, this is all I did. This is the only job, was helping people quit smoking. In my experience, when those first three conditions are met, we call them threshold in change work, i.e., I have to change. Number two, I have to change myself, right? That means I might give you some help, obviously, as the hypnotist, as the change worker, but you're making a shift. I'm a bit like a trainer, a coach. I've coached many people to successes, but you are going to be doing the heavy lifting, metaphorically, in your mind and in your body. And number three, you have to do it now, right? You have to do it now because tomorrow never comes. And to quote Apollo Creed, the late, great Carl Weathers from Rocky III, there is no tomorrow. Okay. So, as I'm just going to go back, look at some of your comments. Veronic, Light and Shadow, Tim. If you are out there, if you are watching, put your name in the comments below so I can comment with you, so I can converse with you. And also, if you're a smoker, it'd be interesting to see how many people are actually watching this who are actually smokers. And by smokers, I mean everything it encapsulates, whether that be cigarettes, whether that be vaping, whether that be weed, or you'll use nicotine in some other form or fashion, like patches, like gum, or you're on Zyban, which is a medication that a lot of my clients have used a medication called Zyban. And it's very, very effective in helping people to quit smoking. Only problem with this Zyban is it creates, sometimes, not in everyone, but the science is showing us that it can create a psychosis in people's minds, and potentially cause the onslaught of schizophrenia with some clients, with some people who use it. So there's some studies out there that point to that. But what I do know is the amount of clients I've seen that have used Zyban, and I ask them, how was that for you? Look, it was bloody great. Why'd you use it? Oh, to quit smoking. What happened? Well, I quit smoking. So why you then? Well, I had such vivid, visceral nightmares to the point where I didn't know which end was up. And I woke up in hot sweat and it was horrible. These zombies were biting my bum. But I had to come off the Zyban because the nightmares were so horrendous that I would rather keep smoking than have these horrible nightmares. So they would come off the Zyban and stop having the nightmares. But then they go back to smoking. So I had more than a fair share of people that did that as well, which was less than favourable, should we say. So is anyone out there that's watching used the Zyban before? Anyone used Zyban? If you've used Zyban, the medication that's prescribed by your doctor to help to quit smoking, put it in the comments below. Be interested to read what people's experience of the Zyban is. So, folks, we're going to give it a few more minutes here tonight. I'll be here for a few more minutes. If you've got any questions, please put in the comments below about those 3 things to create change in somebody, whether that problem be smoking or something else. Put it in the comments below. Some people on the YouTube watching us right now. Hey, if you're watching from YouTube, put your name in the comments so I can reference you and give you a shout out, as the kids say. There is a misnomer out there that stopping smoking is hard and difficult. Can be hard and it can be difficult. But I found hypnosis, again, being the most easy, most efficient, most safest way to help people quit smoking. And long term, it's the most cost effective. There's lasers. People use lasers now, right? People build a business on using some form of laser therapy out there. Not quite sure how it works, given that I'm not sure where they're shooting it, but the pattern, the behavior, the addiction, if you will, and all of addiction's a scary word, but all it is a behavior that's gone a little bit haywire and has gotten a little bit OCD. So I'm not sure pointing where you find that part in the brain and you point a laser from outside into it, how that potentially helps you. I've seen people that have had 10 sessions of laser, spent a pretty penny, and within a few days keep smoking. And one of the biggest things they say is, Luke, I wish I'd come to see you first. Then I would have saved a bunch of money and not done this bloody laser. To which I say, yes, thank you. However, you did see me and now it's gone. And now you get to save your $3.5 grand if you're buying 1 pack a day. If you're buying 2 packs a day, traditional cigarettes over the counter, it's going to cost you 2 times $3.5 grand. What's that? Math's horrible. 7 grand a year. Imagine what would you do with that extra 3.5 if you're 1 pack a day of traditional over-the-counter cigarettes, or if you're doing 2 packs a day, bloody hell, that's about $7,000 a year. What would you do with that extra money if you had it in your pocket? Where would you visit in the world if you had the extra money? Some people say, well, Luke, I don't spend that amount of money. I go to a reserve. And I buy the native cigarettes. This is their wording, not mine. And they're very cheap, to which I say, yeah, you know what? They're very cheap because they're worse than even normal cigarettes. Because the thing about cigarettes that you buy over the counter, as bloody dangerous as they are, And of the 2,500 chemicals that are in a cigarette, I believe at last count, 42 of those 2,500 were proven to cause cancer. And there's even got formaldehyde in cigarettes, and formaldehyde is, if you don't know, what they use to embalm dead bodies. Apparently it's also in a Diet Coke as well. Found out yesterday. Yeah, that's what's in cigarettes. Also, a lot of people don't realize this. One of the ingredients of cigarettes is sugar. There's about a tablespoon of sugar, which is 5 to 7 grams per cigarette. So oftentimes when I have clients that have the fear, like, oh my God, if I stop smoking, Luke, I'm going to gain a bunch of weight. I'll say, yeah, you probably will if you don't use hypnosis, because your unconscious, subconscious mind is going to offset the habit of, I'm not smoking anymore, but I need to get that sugar fix. How's it going to do it? By you consuming more carbohydrates. Not a lot of people realize that. But in the kind of work I do, the kind of hypnosis that I do, fully aware of that, as I'm sure you know right now. So I give people the suggestion that even though we're getting rid of the smoking habit, they're not going to overeat. They're not going to indulge in another maladaptive, addictive behavior. Their unconscious, their subconscious mind is going to choose, using free will, the best healthy way for you to replace that habit. And it's not for me to say, because that would be wrong. Because what if I give you a suggestion and it's not your thing? What if I said you're going to stop smoking, but you're going to exercise more, and you don't like exercising? Your unconscious, your subconscious, your monkey mind is going to reject that. But if I leave there to be a space for your unconscious, your subconscious, your monkey mind, the part that thinks the thoughts, the part that beats the heart, the part that breathes the lungs, the part that controls the endocrine system, part that knows all about you, right? It knows you better than me, better than you ever will. So I leave it to your unconscious, your subconscious mind to develop that bespoke suggestion that is specific for you. So it's always accepted. Long story short, you won't gain weight if you do the kind of hypnosis that I do here. I have had other clients in the past, have gone to other hypnotists, and I say, have you ever experienced hypnosis before? They say, yes. I'm like, what was it for? They're like, smoking. I'm like, well, how did it go? They're like, great. I'm like, so why are you here? I'm like, yeah, it went great. So you stopped smoking? Yeah. So why are you here? Again, well, it went so great, but I stopped smoking for a couple of weeks, and I noticed I started to consume more carbs, more sugar. And I thought to myself, I'd rather be a smoker than a fat bastard. Their words, not mine, because I would never use language like this. And they would continue to smoke, because smoking was less of a pain to them mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, psychologically, than smoking. So yeah, I'm fully aware of that. So you have to be careful, because your unconscious is always looking to replace the habit in the easiest, quickest way possible. So oftentimes it's a bit like a frog that's jumping from lily pad to lily pad to lily pad. Now it's okay if those lily pads are healthy things, like drink more water, do more walking, do more breathing, do more prayer if that's your thing, do more ums if that's your thing, right? Whatever your thing is. But if your lily pads, I'm not smoking, but I'm going to drink more now, I'm going to eat more sugar, I'm going to do crack cocaine, I'm going to do meth, I'm going to go on the internet too much, I'm going to get too much involved in porn, then you've just swapped out one drug from the other. So instead of injecting the heroin into one arm, you're now injecting it into the other arm. You're still getting your fix. So the kind of work that I do is we're going to clear that, so you don't jump from those negative lily pads, potentially installing even worse disorders, addictions into your mind, body, system. Now we're going to get rid of that once and for all. So quick recap. You might need rehab as well. In fact, I had a client recently came to me to stop doing coke. And when I told them how much I charged, they're like, bloody hell, Luke, you're cheap. I thought like rehab's going to charge, they're going to cost about 100 grand to send my son into rehab. And you're only this amount? Oh, you're bloody cheap. Which made me think I should increase prices to get me why I'm still expensive, but I'm not rehab expensive. But yeah, if you've got any questions, please put them in the comments below. We're going to start wrapping it up now, folks. Again, if you're watching on the replay, I will endeavour to go back and comment as best as I can. There likely will be a link underneath whichever format you're watching on social media. The next step, if you want to quit smoking, if you're ready, even though you may be a bit scared, you realize you need to change, right? Back to the 3 protocols for change to be efficient, to know that you are at threshold. You need to change. You need to change for yourself, and you need to change now. All of those 3 protocols are in place, and this will be very successful for you. And so you'll see a link probably underneath this video or on my page somewhere to my website, lukenosis.com. That's Luke, like me, LUKENOSIS.com. And you can book a 1-hour screening call with me. It's not hypnosis. I'm not going to stop you smoking in that hour because it's free. And then I would be poor and live on the streets, and we don't want that. I have a cat to feed, right, and a girlfriend to. Anyways, yeah. So, but the screening call will be an opportunity for us to have a chat, so I can find out more about you and really assess if you're ready. Because I've been doing this 25 years, I can read between the lines and see if somebody's ready or not. Okay, and if you're not ready, then it's okay. We'll have a chat. I don't want to take your money if you're not ready, all right? Because it won't be effective. Nothing will be effective if you're not ready. But if you are ready, and you need that extra support, and you need to just remove those pieces of malware, those mind viruses, those blocks that are preventing you, that's how I can help you strategize, remove them, bulldoze them, suck them out, destroy them, so you can go to the next level in your life and make the rest of your life the best of your life, and realize just quite how easy and effortless it is to quit smoking once you've got the right key. Now, you could try another key to put on your door, and you can put all the force in the world, but if it isn't the right key, that bloody door is not going to open. But once you put the right key in that door, it's as easy as just turning that key and going through to the other side. So that being said, folks, I'm going to wrap it up. I will be here next Wednesday, same Luke time, same Luke place, same Luke channel. Always believe.